Welcome back to Nights and Weekends. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a hot and heavy week. So the DNC is having their rally or their conference or whatever, where they're going to actually officially nominate Kamala for the Democratic nominee for president. But I wanted to just chime in on two things actually one thing that I saw that just illuminates why it is when I talk to everybody, they act as if they've never heard of these things. So apparently there have been small riots that have gone on right now in Chicago. But if you look at the way that the media covers it, especially the AP, they cover it as if it's just a small skirmish, as if it was nothing. And then also we're actually going to take a little trip back to the good old times of 2020, when everybody willingly locked themselves in their homes, wore a mask, and thought that COVID was the worst damn disease since, I don't know, since smallpox. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and hop right on in. Now, this is going to be a quick video because I was laying in my bed. I saw this and just got pissed. I said, I bet I can go down here and look, and end up finding that the media is painting this stuff a very soft, affirming way because it's on their goddamn side. So here we go. Let me get off of my big ass head here, baby. So this is how they cover the very first thing. This is from today, from the AP. Some protesters tear down security fence as thousands march outside of Democratic National Convention. Now, let us scroll down. I had highlighted already so that we can read it. Me, so I can read it to you. So,
children, gather round.
Let us go. Dozens of protesters broke through a security fence near the site of the Democratic National Convention on its opening day Monday, as thousands took to the streets to voice their opposition to the war in Gaza. I wonder how my Christian, friends and believers are, taking all of that in, that the folks on the left, that the folks that are going to vote for Kamala Harris are overwhelmingly the people protesting Israel's war to get the terrorist out of that area. But anyway, I guess you're going to have to make up that on your own. Here we go. Families with babies and strollers, students, elected leaders, and others holding signs and flags join the march to the United Center, where the convention is being held to call for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. As a larger group marched peacefully, a few dozen who broke away tore down pieces of the security fence. As we can see there, those folks were arrested because they were acting violent. Now, I just wanted to let us look at the media bias and wonder why the folks on my side look at this stuff and get such an attitude. Now, I'm not a fan of what the hell happened down in Charlottesville. Okay? Just so that we're clear. Okay? Nah, I'm not down with the white supremacist. Okay? But look at how they covered this. So we already see that they are soft pedaling this. Okay? We're already seeing this, that they're already soft pedaling this. Okay? Let's go here. Deadly car attack, violent clashes in Charlottesville. What we know now. So we know that idiot he intentionally killed a woman. Her name escapes me. I hope that he gets the damn death penalty, to be honest. But as we see here, 3 people were killed and 35 injured in a day of violence surrounding a white supremacist rally in the usually quiet college town of Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday. So you see how they covered that, right? Let us see how they covered all the goddamn riots that went on during 2020 from George Floyd dying. Well, technically he was murdered. Let us look here. Oh, looking back at fiery George Floyd protests. This doesn't look like a protest. This looks like riot. Okay. This looks like riot. And then with this asshole running with the United States flag upside down, woo, I would love to send him to the Philippines and see how much he can have his privileged ass get along there. But let us see how they frame this. The protests raged night after night, starting in Minneapolis and swiftly spreading across the U.S. and around the world in the days after George Floyd's death. Nearly a year later, the police officer who pressed his knee into Floyd's neck was convicted of murder Tuesday, and crowds filled city streets again, this time to celebrate the verdict. But the images of the 2020 demonstrations still crackle with tension. Protesters with raised fists, police brandishing weapons and tear gas, and fires burning. Oh, hey, I guess that the goddamn police set the fires. Who knows? Right? Okay. Here we go. This is even more important. Let's see how they did this. In those first nights of renewed protest movement, some demonstrators held up signs with Floyd's last words, "I can't breathe," which, by the way, he was saying before he even got out the goddamn police car, just in case we happen to forget. Okay. And it also happened a year or two earlier, and the police had to resuscitate him. He died, and they brought him back. Here we go. At one point, officers abandoned a Minneapolis police station to the crowds. That is the one that the person who Kamala picked for vice president, that's the one that, like he said, to abandon, by the way. Okay, here we go. At one point, officers abandoned a Minneapolis police station to the crowds, and demonstrators torched it. Those are no longer freaking demonstrators, AP. Those are rioters. Okay? Again, this is how they cover it. This is why folks on my side of the political aisle get so pissed off with everyday folks who they run into. And this is why we feel like we're gaslit by the media. Because even places like the AP, that's supposed to be just a news outlet, they lie to people. You are not a demonstrator if you set a goddamn police department on fire. You are a rioter. And then let's look here. Now, I know during the George Floyd riots and protests that went on during 2020, it led to at least 30 plus people being killed. But this is from The Guardian in late 2020. We're just going to highlight this. At least 25 Americans were killed during protests and political unrest in 2020. Let us go back to me. Okay, so the thing I want for y'all to understand is that imagine if they're doing this on day one of the DNC. What are they going to do when the protests that will turn to riots? How's the media going to frame it? Are they going to frame it evenly, justly, like with a righteous justice, and say, hey, that these protests turned into riots? Nope. Unless somebody is literally shot in the goddamn head, that's the only way that they're going to declare it a riot. Okay? So, that's it. We are already starting. And watch how the media just fluffs this all up. They are going to fluff this, and anything that ends up happening in Chicago, even if it blows up to a full-scale riot, they are going to try their excuse me. Even if it blows up to a full-scale riot, they are going to frame it as being a damn protest. Okay? So that's it. This is your media gas lighting you again. Okay? There will be riots, like that very small itty bitty riot that happened where they tore down the damn fence. Okay? That will happen more. That will happen more. And for my Christians, how do y'all square that circle of not the Democrats in power, because they are going to support Israel, even if they give lip service to the idiots and say that they aren't. How do you square that circle? That's all. So I will see y'all soon. All right. Bye.